How's it going, everybody? Welcome back, and today I got a video for you guys. Before we start, if you guys could hit that like button and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. And disclaimer, these videos are just my opinion, so it doesn't mean everything I'm going to say here today is correct, but with all those disclaimers out of the way, let's get right to the video. Today, guys, I want to dive into the Spurs today and what I believe they should do moving forward into the next coming seasons. It's safe to say at this point that the Spurs are not the same Spurs we've known for the past 20 years, from David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, Kawhi Leonard, and now DeMar DeRozan. Now, I can spend a lot of time on this vid just going in depth about how DeMar isn't going to do much for this team in the long run, but that's just for another time and another video, no doubt. But honestly, I do believe in the totality that this Spurs team won't go anywhere if they keep DeMar and Aldridge for the rest of their time. I really do believe the Spurs team is in the perfect spot, though, now more than ever, to retool their team and not rebuild their team. Right now is the perfect time to get talent and get these old heads out of here. Yes, the DeMar and Kawhi trade 100% screwed the team over, but I do think the Spurs can come back strong from this. Now, these thoughts are centered mostly around if the Spurs don't make the playoffs, by the way. I do believe, though, it's safe to say they won't make it. If they make it, then most of my opinions should still be able to hold true to what I'm about to say. So here we go. The upcoming draft for the Spurs can kind of make or break them for the next couple years. I do think we should be too worried about the Spurs draft because they usually draft good, but not like A+ lately. With their known draft picks in the last few years, they have been decent, but nothing crazy. But you can argue that's just because they've been in the lottery every time, so that is fair in a way. But going into this draft, they'll once again be in the lottery around 15th pick, so they have a better chance than most years because they've been more around like 20th pick, so they could have a better chance getting a star player. This draft is very guard heavy, and in my opinion, this draft is very underrated with their players compared to the last few drafts. Even though this is a guard heavy draft, though, there are some good big men in this draft as well that could possibly fall below 5th to 10th picks. The Spurs are predicted to have a pick from 12th to 18th, depending on wherever they fall during the lottery and all the playoff placement and the bubble and everything. So it's just safe to say that we'll put them around there. And now, don't get me wrong, though. The Spurs have good guards like DeJounte Murray, Derek White, Brian Forbes, etc. And yes, they've shown flashes here and there, but I don't think the Spurs should pass up on a guard, especially if they're showing that they're going to be a star or superstar in the future. Just hear me out on this one. I believe the Spurs going into this draft should fully focus on talent. One reason being they are in the lottery, so it's hard to get that star you need. And second, the Spurs have always been amazing at growing their players and the talent that they have. There's no doubt in my mind if they drafted someone like Cole Anthony, he would become amazing and become a star right away with this staff because that's just how good the Spurs organization has been all these years. That brings me to the players I think they should go for in the draft in the first round, however they fall. Cole Anthony is number one, obviously. RJ Hampton could possibly, if like Cole Anthony isn't there at the pick. If neither are there, you can maybe invest into Trey Jones or Devin Dotson. I don't know how far they'll drop. They might drop till the second round though, so you might be able to wait. In that case, if they drop all the way down to the second round, a good big man that you could hope to fall at their pick if they want to go for a big man, in my opinion, is Vernon Carey. Vernon Carey, who I believe has good potential to be a good center one day. But yeah, if they decide to take Vernon Carey, I would say in the second round they try to get Trey Jones or Devin Dotson if they want to fill in that guard position. Now, going into the offseason for free agency signings, the Spurs need to keep their core value of going for talent full on, not just in the draft, but their overall for the next couple of years, no doubt. Not only going for talent is the number one priority for this draft, but let it be the foundation of the whole offseason at the end of the day. Going into free agency, they either must accept or decline DeRozan's player option. Personally, I would say keep DeMar and Aldridge, and then once the season starts, or before the season starts, it's time to start fishing for talent and getting rid of them. Get the best value you can get with both these players, whether it's players or draft picks, whatever the talent may consist of. Don't let them walk, because if the Spurs let them both walk, they'll be in a worse position before. If there are any players I recommend going for trade in Aldridge or DeMar DeRozan, be either Buddy Hield, maybe Harrison Barnes. Another option could be Bogdanovich or even Harry Giles. I feel like the Kings have good options if you want to go for trades, and good likely of getting one of those players possibly, because some of those players don't get enough minutes. And most of these players are starting caliber, no doubt, so I think it would be hard for the Kings to keep them all. The desperate move would be more like John Wall possibly, unless you can somehow pull off a Bradley Beal, but I have no clue what the value of both of those 30-year-old guys. They're like 34, both of them. DeMar's like 33, Aldridge about 34. They're one-year contract players, and I don't know what they'll get you. I mean, Aldridge is still good, and so is DeMar, but Aldridge has a better chance at helping out playoff contending teams than DeMar, in my opinion. During the whole free agency period, though, I'd say keep Jakob Poeltl, just because he's a decent center and has value in the market, most likely if you ever decide to trade him later down the line. But for the Spurs, whether my input is right or not, their focus, I think, should be number one, focus on getting the talent, and two, retool, and don't rebuild the team. Rebuilding, I don't think, would be good for the culture of this team, and I think most Spurs fans can agree they don't like tanking and losing every year. Hopefully the Spurs do figure it all out at the end, though. But that wraps it up for today's video. If you guys have any opinions over your own, please go ahead and leave them in the comments below. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.